Alright, welcome back to day 55. Four. Eventually, is it more than that? I don't know. Anyway, welcome back. Pretty much. Last night, the whole thing with the Trump protests in DC. I live kind of close to DC, the surrounding state, and the idea that there are people so close to me that would do that, and that has Nazi tattoos, and that has literally carrying around the Confederate flag. It's disgusting. I knew people like that around me. A lot of people from my old church is well, suspiciously quiet right now, when then everyone that's like against it is like, kind of odd that 6 months ago you weren't really, you're pulling out a lot of different stops to get them stopped, but you're not doing that. Last night you weren't doing that. You actually opened the gate for them, waved them through. You actually did all this, taking pictures with them. They stole stuff. They stole, apparently, I heard hard drives. I saw a podium. I saw like other things, and I think they're trying to protest not recounting something to maybe get Trump to win the election somehow. Like, girl, that was so many months ago. People are also talking about him literally fleeing to Sudan, like Trump fleeing to try not to get out of presidency. People are also talking about apparently he has committed a crime and technically could be arrested if he entered Georgia. He actually can get arrested in a lot, I think, places. But anyways, I don't know, dude. Messed up stuff. And then having that's funny, it kind of looks like a car, but that's a house, I think. Well, I mean, I know the house, it might look like a car. Anyways, I don't know, I don't think my pee would look that yellow. Maybe in the morning after like sleeping for like 12 hours, and I wake up, I'm like, whoa, I'm dehydrated. But I just don't think my monitor just went black. Okay, I made it back. The video just kept playing though. That was really odd. Okay. That's odd. That's really odd. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, with I don't know, I don't think my pee would be that yellow. Maybe, I never, in years, I haven't peed in a cup. Like, I did it for a doctor when I was, like, younger. I haven't done that recently. Do you do that more recently? Should I do that? Should I pee in a cup? No, I literally just went to my doctor, so I did blood tests and crap. So, anyways, I'm on antibiotics for my ear infection. They just came today. So I'm like, okay, I should have took, or no, it was day before today, and I didn't take them, and then I wanted to take them today, so I took them at like 7 o'clock, and you're supposed to be every 12 hours, but then I was like, I'm gonna be asleep at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. So I don't know if it's better to take them a few hours early or take them a few hours late. I don't know what's better. I've just popped that first pill and it's huge. It's like this big. Yeah, depending on where I hold it, it doesn't look that impressive. But yeah, it is a very big pill. I think literally one of the biggest I've ever seen in person. But luckily it doesn't like, it was very easy to swallow for me. But it just like, ooh, that was big, and I was like, you know. Anyways, enjoy my double chin because I don't want to lift this camera up anymore, you know. But yeah. So with the Trump thing, it just like with the protests going on, it's just ridiculous that there are these people doing this right now. I don't know if they're still going, but like doing this, and it seems okay, and people think it's okay. And I told you people from my church that are like, oh man, Guinness, donate to Black Lives Matter movement. Oh, I'm going to stop drinking Guinness. I'm like, what are you thinking right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you thinking? How's that going for you? Like, are you going, like, are you thinking that this is good? Are you there? One time back, way back, when I was, I think it was in Southern Virginia. There was a whole bunch of white supremacists and actual Nazis and KKK members. And they showed up and they were like burning things and anyways, I literally was like, I think I know that guy. I literally was like, that could be that guy. Like it's not even just like look like him. It literally could have been in his personality to go to that. And I'm like, just no, I'm not out to that family from my church. So when my mom in the middle of the pandemic was like, I want to go back to church, I'm like, what are you going to say about me? Like, are you going to tell them? She's like, no. I'm like, I would want to. Like, I'm out. I would want to. I also have a doctor's appointment today with doing the health and wellness thing for my brain to see if I'm seeing mind, to see if I can be trans or not. To be fair, right when I said that, not that it's connected, but right when I said that, I got distracted by my eyebrows because I'm like, I want to shave them off. But that's not anything besides, I always like the idea of just shaving it off, especially in winter. You don't sweat in winter. In summer, I need my eyebrows, but in winter, they grow back so fast. Just shave them off. But yeah, the idea that people around here are doing this protest, and this all ties back in with a few years ago, 4 I guess years ago, when Trump got elected. I was talking to this one disabled Jewish lesbian. She's like, hey, I wasn't trans at that time to anyone, barely even myself, and she was like, hey, you want to run away together, get married, run away? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And she's like, I don't want to go back home. I do not want to go to the United States. I'm scared. And I understood, and so I'm like, yeah, let's figure it out. But I went back to school, and she went back home to America, to the United States, and apparently that month or a couple months, like 2 months after, a synagogue near where she grew up got there was a shooting, and like obviously she wasn't hurt or anything, thank God, But the idea that she could have been, it's just gross. And she was right to be scared and worried because there was a shooting in a synagogue, you know, next to her place. And I know moving my elbow just like that really helped. I just needed to move it onto the desk. But anyways, this is a really cool Wolverine poster. Like, I don't know why. I have other posters too. Yeah, that one. Anyways. But, yeah, no, I don't know. The idea that, that happens right here, that happens so close to where I live, to have people think, you know, Antifa isn't just being a fascist. Like, literally. It's not like, oh, I don't like the way you're doing things. It's literally about people's well-being, that people deserve the right to live. And it's just disgusting. And then having, like, my family in Germany, he's like, oh, I'm really talking politics. I love talking politics. I'm like, I don't like it. I mean, I will, but I don't like, oh, yes, politics. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? And he's like, oh, yeah, with, you know, speed limits, with, like, climate change, with the environment, with recycling, with how to do things with compost. And I'm like, boy, I wish I was there. That's not where we're at. I have to be like, hey, don't kill black people. Don't have the police be able to kill people. Like, don't have trans people be turned down by doctors. You know, it's just like, it's just bare minimum garbage that I could have been turned down because of my ear infection by a doctor. If I was, and I'm out to my doctor. If they were like, no, I won't treat you, I would have had to go to a different new doctor to get my ear checked out because I have an ear infection. The idea that exists, that I could be turned down just because I'm trans is I can't, it's really, I can't do it. Like, I wish I was where my other family is at, where it's like talking politics, what to do in the future, speed limits, you know, maybe even a little bit of what development, like where you should develop. Like, yeah, love that for me. We're not there. We're at stage 1 of, should people be able to live? Should people be able to be themselves? Like, no, like, it's just, no, it's ridiculous. The system here is just so flawed. I remember, and I don't know if I told you, but having one of my coworkers one time, she was talking about something. I'm like, yeah, you know, she was ranting about the families at the border getting split up. Obviously, very important topic, and I agreed. We were talking about it. We were saying how awful it was, blah blah blah, and she was saying things, but then unironically, later on, the next day, whatever, we talk about politics quite often. In the politics, we usually really just line up about, like, this is messed up and it needs to change. So one time I'm like, yeah, I think the jail system, prison system, and the slavery involved in it, modern day slavery and everything, but also especially in the police, or in the prisons right now, and their work conditions, and how they have to spend this much more money to just be able to, like, this amount of money just to rent a book, but that's more than that they make. So, like, the longer you have the book, you're losing money every day. And the idea that you can leave like that, and you can't, yeah, I don't know, the fact that that's the thing, that all of the prison system is just so flawed, and how there's private prisons, and how they have a certain amount, how if there's a prison near me, my vote counts for those people, because they can't vote here because they're criminals, because they're felons, but my vote is counted for them. So like, because there's so many people right here living right here, my vote is rated higher than other people's. And that idea is, for me, is so gross, because they purposely put a prison near here so the votes would be swayed in the favor. And that just, it's so gross. So I was mentioning a bunch of like little things about it, but I'm pretty sure I pretty much only mentioned like modern day slavery. She goes, well, if you don't like it, you can just move, just leave America. And I'm like, you just did the same thing about the border. We both complained about like Trump. We're talking about a bunch of different things, but when I say the prison system is flawed, suddenly I should leave. Like, okay, and which is interesting, because like people use that against her apparently a lot, and I've never done that. Where I think she is, I know the other person, one of my other coworkers, but I believe her too, actually was born in Mexico and moved here. So I'm like, or at least most of her family. So the idea that she would just be like, just move, when people do that with her, because she wasn't born and raised, or wasn't born here, she was raised here. But I was born and raised here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of odd that she's like, oh, just leave. I'm like, no, why don't I fix it? I'm gonna try, put my voice out there, talk about it, because she talks about issues I don't really know about. You know, she clearly has a different perspective on things, and I talk about things she doesn't know about. And I'm going to be real, she doesn't know that much about certain things. Like, she was talking about 13 Reasons Why, and I'm like, you've never been in a bad mental health space, have you? And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, I noticed. Wow. Wow. Oh yeah, like a bad mental health space, and she never been in a, you know, suicidal, depressed, and so like clearly she also never been like a lot of these things. And that also happened one time. She's like, oh, I got bullied in school. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Yeah, same. I said like a story, and she's like, did you sue them? And I'm like, sue them? No. They were bullying me in middle school. No, I didn't sue them. Like, she thought I was gonna, like, should have sued them, and she's still like, you should sue them. Like, I'm not gonna sue them. Why would I sue my middle school bullies? Like, that's the stupidest thing for me. Just being like, yeah, it sucked, and they should have got in trouble, hands down. However, that's just stupid. Like, I don't know, just like go sue them right now. Like, you don't know the real world at all, do you? Like, at all. Apparently no, because that happened with other things too, where she's like, oh, why doesn't this just happen? I'm like, that's not how the world works, and maybe it should. I'm not saying certain things shouldn't change. I'm saying a lot of things should change. Like, a lot. Okay, well, bye.